I just got access to ChatGPT's code interpreter, and boy, it's a game changer. It can take uploaded files and use the programming language Python to analyze data, provide visualizations, solve mathematical problems, convert files between formats, and even do some basic video editing. In this video, I'm going to show you a very practical application of a data analysis that most people can relate to: inflation and money supply. I'm also rolling out a series of 5 very short videos explaining inflation and money supply over the next week or so. So please be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see those. Code Interpreter is still in alpha, meaning very early testing, so there are plenty of issues and errors. But after overcoming all those hurdles, I was able to get some pretty awesome results analyzing inflation and money supply. OpenAI should be rolling it out in beta to all Plus users in the next week, along with some other goodies I'll mention at the end of this video. Plus users paying the $20 per month are going to love it. They all should also be rolled out to free users within about a month. I've done several videos about inflation and money supply, but I haven't found the right chart and data analysis to show the interaction as well as I'd like to. Until now. We know there's a lag between money supply changes and inflation rate changes, so I used Code Interpreter to find out the number of months lag with the highest correlation between money supply and inflation, lagged by 0 to 24 months, using the publicly available data since 1980. I asked it to use a threshold of 10% for money supply and 5% for inflation, since noted economist Steve Hanke had done a study of inflation in 157 countries using a 10% threshold for money supply and 4% inflation sustained for 2 years, which I mentioned in a previous video. The Code Interpreter came back and said 8 months was the highest correlation. It reported a correlation of approximately 1, which is the highest possible, so I was a little skeptical of that result. Here's the Python code it used. I then asked it to show inflation 8 months later versus money supply, and here's the result. You can see that the big spikes in money supply to the 10% area or higher have all been followed by spikes in the inflation rate, sometimes peaking a little earlier or later than 8 months later. This last time, the annual rate of money supply growth peaked in February 2021, while the CPI inflation rate peaked in June 2022, a lag of 16 months. Looking at the recent action on this chart, I'll let you decide for yourself what this means for inflation in coming months, if history is any guide. I've already proclaimed in my January, February, and April videos that the pandemic inflation spike is over, and the 10 straight months of lower CPI and counting reinforce that view. Please comment below what you think is going to happen to the CPI inflation rate in coming months. Here are some insights on the data from Code Interpreter. With the recent banking crisis also tightening money supply and badly lagging shelter data skewing recent CPI reports higher than they should be, let's hope the Federal Reserve Board understands what all this means. But don't hold your breath. I wish they had understood this analysis a few years ago. We'd be in a lot better economic shape without all the recent inflation. In any case, as the Code Interpreter moves to beta and full production, there'll be a lot of great uses for it like this one. There is so much more to come with ChatGPT. I also got my GPT-4 API so I can code my chatbots using GPT-4. I just got access to the beta web browser instead of alpha. I just got access to third-party plugins beta. And I just got the GPT-4 32K unofficial version, which will make it a lot easier to give ChatGPT a lot more background on my companies than the current 4K version. Look out for lots more to come. Please like and subscribe for a lot more useful information to come.